Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Slow Blink Anime. This is Phil,
This is Candace.
and we're here talking about another My Hero Academia episode. It was episode 72 of season 4. It was called Red Riot, and we just got done watching this, and it was so good. No, we loved it. It was such a good episode, and we're just really excited to get here and talk about it.
Can I just say,
Hmm.
I had goosebumps. it was so good. So obviously it's about Red Riot, and so we expected some flashbacks throughout the episode. He already kind of had his own spotlight when he fought.
The knives guy earlier,
Yeah.
like a couple episodes before.
Yeah. But this time we got a bit more of him.
Mm-hmm.
Why he's like this and what happened in the past and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so,
So
what's up with the black hair?
No.
No.
Do you want to just talk about it like through the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right. So, so the mimic quirk guy from the high side group, he was targeting Eraserhead, but Fat Gum and Kirishima jumped in and pushed him out of the way and saved him. And he put him through that chute, and they went into that like this dark room. And there's two guys from the high side group. One guy was I can't remember the names. It was Rappa, the one that was fighting.
One is Rob.
I can't remember the other guy's name, but he
the
was.
The other one is something else.
Yeah, but he just did like shields, and the Rappa guy was just full offense and just fighting.
Yeah. Then they described themselves as the shield and
Spear? Or was it
spear?
sword?
The spear.
Yeah, spear.
Spear and shield.
But then they get in there, and the first thing that happens is Kirishima Red Riot puts up his ultimate armor, his unbreakable.
Yeah,
and
supposed to be.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, and Rappa just hits him, and he knocks him all the way back and just breaks the armor on his arms.
Yeah.
And that just completely crushed his spirit. It was just so heartbreaking for him. First thing he busts out his ultimate move and it just gets slapped away like so easily, just so easily.
Yeah, and he did say he worked hard on it, and the fact that that's supposed to be his strongest move,
His
and
ultimate move.
I guess he's thinking in his head, what else can I do that if my best move is not working on them, everything else that I would do is useless.
I know, like what else?
Yeah, and so he just felt like just useless. There's nothing else he can do. And then that's when we got some flashbacks, and he thought before that he's always been like this. When he's in an actual life and death situation, that's when the true self shows. And that was an instance of it. And
where he just kind of like panics and hesitates.
Yeah, and then before we got a glimpse of his past, with him kind of like being that average guy, I guess. He wasn't like shy or anything. He was just when he's confronted with a situation, he just kind of freezes up. And I guess he doesn't know what to do.
He doesn't commit or something.
Yeah.
That'd be a good way to put it.
Yeah, and then what's her name? Ashido?
Mina.
Yeah, Mina. They went to the same school, and she's like the opposite of him.
Yeah, we get that contrast between them.
He kind of admired her, the way she was and the way he was. He wanted to be like her. And so... Sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. So he wanted to be like her. Yeah, so we get that contrast that Mina's pretty much like just better than him, or is reacting and doing everything she's being everything that he wants to be pretty much in every situation. And I think that was the big contrast in that flashback. And then we get the part where he goes home after that interaction with that huge villain that was messing with those two girls. and then Mina steps in and kind of like saves the day for them. Then we get that whole scene where he gets that some kind of like DVD hologram for his birthday with Crimson Riot. And we get that motivational speech from him that kind of like encourages him. And I guess he was remembering this while he was down there with Fat Gum, and just like that's how we were getting that flashback. And he's pretty much being like chivalrous, and he wants to be like Crimson Riot, like his hero. And he said, what was he saying? He said, "Don't have any regrets, or live life with no regrets."
That chivalrous
life
is not doing something so you won't regret it.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
And then I think Crimson Riot admitting that he was scared too every time.
Yeah.
To face the villains and to go into danger, but he said something even more scary was seeing the face of someone die, or someone you couldn't save. Is that what he said? Like someone he couldn't save. I think that was what he said. So that definitely inspired him, I think, or gave him the motivation to keep fighting. And just one little thing I wanted to mention too, right before we got that flashback, when he was feeling really hopeless, and like even the villain mentioned it, like that kid's done. We get that little brief moment where there's just no music or background noise, and it's just silence, and it's just Kirishima thinking in his head. And I just really liked that. It was just really made it real personal and made it feel like empty for him. Yeah. And I really enjoy like when the anime does something like that. It's just the little things are what makes me happy. But anyway, so Rappa's fighting Fat Gum, right? And Fat Gum's just eating all the blows pretty much in his body, just hitting him. Okay. And it just looks like he's tearing him up the whole time.
The fact that his power, the quirk, was it's called adsorbing.
Absorption.
Instead of instead of absorption, like with a B, it's a D. And so, from what I know, it's when I know that adduction. So this is like from nursing stuff. It's like you take something back to your body.
Like taking it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And abduction is something like taking away from your body.
Okay.
So the fact that his quirk was called adsorption, it gives me a clue that he's not really just shielding, or he's not really
just taking hits.
He's not just taking the hits. He's getting all of it and adding it into his self, into his strength, I guess. and then that's when we see towards the end that when the final blow comes in.
Yeah, he was just piling on that energy the whole time. We just thought he was just getting his he thought he was just like getting beat up from all that, and it looked like it too.
Yeah,
where they were animating it.
But no, like when he was getting as soon as he mentioned his quirk, I already thought that he's not just getting beaten for nothing. I know that he's accumulating all of that, all of those punches.
Yeah.
And then he will give it back to them.
Yeah, I definitely didn't think that.
No, I was like, if I'm right, I'm gonna say it in this episode. Yeah. If I'm wrong, then I'm just not gonna say it.
Yeah, he was stockpiling all of that, but then. So he got it all piled up. You saw how he was getting thinner and thinner and thinner throughout.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get in a hit, but he was still blocking everything. So he said he wasn't going to get a full power hit, I think. And that's when Red Riot came in and started blocking for him.
Yep.
And that gave him the opportunity to build up all that power and hit him with everything he piled up from him. And just one hit, even with that barrier that the other guy put up, just completely blew them away.
Yeah.
And everything, the way they framed it, everything's so perfect.
And so that's something that we learned something new with
Fat Gum, yeah.
Yeah, with Fat Gum. That he's not just, his fat is
not
not
just
for
fat.
nothing. It's not just something that, like a little cushion to protect him. It has a purpose. I mean, we knew that it has a purpose. We just didn't know how it's going to be shown to us.
Yeah.
And so now we finally saw it.
Yeah.
But I think it was pretty cool. It was really thought out how their quirks are made.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing more of them.
More of the pro heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was great. Yeah, we love this episode. It was so good. We can't wait for the next ones. We saw, I think in the preview, it was Mirio running, and Deku was gonna. I can't remember.
It looks like Deku was gonna fight. The title was Temp
Squad.
Temp Squad.
Yeah. Temp Squad. It was Temp Squad.
Yeah. And that's gonna be on the next episode.
It might not be as exciting as this one, but it's probably gonna. It's like a precursor to probably the next episode or something's gonna go down.
We'll see. I'm not quite sure, but it looked like Deku was gonna be a part of the action in this one. I think that's pretty much all I can say in this episode.
Yeah, it was great. Thank y'all for listening, everybody.
Yep. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next one.